finally out the hood, finally getting money like a real one should. I'ma take a sip, get a little lit back in a bit, meditate, I think I should. No, we ain't friends, got me on 10.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video here on Peg City Hockey, and today we are going to be doing a preview of the upcoming series round 1 matchup. Vegas Golden Knights versus your Winnipeg Jets. And I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the series, breaking down my thoughts on Vegas, the Jets, everything going into this really, and basically my entire thoughts on the entire playoffs when it comes to this Jets team and what to expect out of this first round matchup. This first round matchup is going to be an interesting one for a lot of different reasons. Not only is this kind of a rematch of the Western Conference Final. No, I'm just joking. It is nowhere near that. I don't want to see people, Vegas rematch. These two teams are in a very different spot right now because this is the first round. We're not going to compare the Western Conference Final to this first round matchup. These are very different teams and nothing to do with that at all. You maybe have some bad blood there between Wheeler and two of the guys that are left from that team on Vegas, but this Vegas team's identity is entirely different from then, and I don't think that holds as much weight as some people might be giving it. So I just want to get that out of the way right now. So if you're a Vegas fan watching this, I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't wait to get revenge, because I don't think that this is going to be that type of series. I think it's going to be a very different type of hockey series, and I'm very excited for it. So without any further ado, we're going to jump into this. Enjoy. Make sure to drop me a like and subscribe, and also go down and comment right now before you hear my thoughts, what your thoughts are on this series. I'd love to hear it before and after watching this, if you agree with me, if you don't. So go down in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts. And without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into this breakdown. The big thing going into this series for Vegas is going to be Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel has never played in the NHL playoffs before, and he has been incredible with the Golden Knights this year, being their best player by far on the ice and on the stat sheet as well. 27 goals, 39 assists in 67 games, the #1 center for the team. He's battled injuries lately, but that doesn't mean that, we're going to have to worry about that much. I think Jack Eichel really is going to be the game breaker for the Golden Knights when it goes into this. I think the Golden Knights have an interesting top 6. I think that when you look at the Jets and you look at the Golden Knights, I actually think that there's a lot of similarities in some of how the guys play, but I think what's really going to make a big impact is how the stars perform. And I think that the way Jack Eichel has played this year, if he can elevate his game in the playoffs, finally getting there and having a chance to prove himself, that'll be huge for the Golden Knights. And then obviously, going into things also as well as the goaltending situation for Vegas. When you think about goaltending, the Jets obviously are superior in this category by far, and that is not a knock on the goaltending because they haven't been bad. But when you look at what Laurent Brossoit brought to the table this year, going into this with Adin Hill as well, I think that it is very clear that the Jets and Connor Hellebuyck are the superior match there. So that is going to be the biggest thing for the Vegas Golden Knights, is can they beat Connor Hellebuyck? You can make the argument about them being the better team and whatnot based on the regular season, because obviously it's evident in the standings and in the stat sheets, but when you look at goaltending, the Jets are far superior there. So that is going to be the big thing, I think, when you look at this series. What it comes down to is the fact that you're going to have a very, very exciting top 6 potentially for the Vegas Golden Knights, actually almost their entire offense potentially. And if Jack Eichel can elevate his game, that will be the big thing the Jets are going to have to worry about, because the goaltending area they have. So as long as goaltending is sound for the Jets, and we'll get into more about the Jets in a little bit, things will be very entertaining, I think, in the series. I think the series, all I'm trying to say is that I like the Golden Knights. I've always thought they've been an interesting team. Even when they beat us, I followed the Golden Knights. I went to a few Golden Knights games out here. I like the Golden Knights because they just fascinate me about how they are run as an organization. It's crazy. And nonetheless, though, I think that this could be closer than some people are giving it credit for. And I'm not saying, oh, yeah, I'm as a biased Jets fan. I think that this could be a very, very entertaining wild card series. And I think that Jack Eichel is really going to be the game breaker when it comes down to it. When you look at the regular season comparisons for these teams, the series results, Vegas was dominant this year. Vegas won every game this year that they played. 5-2 victory, a 2-1 victory, and then a 6 6-5 victory. So they were close games. Well, obviously other than that 5-2 victory, but they were close games as of late. I remember them, and again, they were entertaining. And I think that was during a time when I honestly didn't really trust the Jets as much offensively, as they were starting to slump. It wasn't the best time for them. Right going into December, they were starting to have those problems emerge, especially in that last game in early December of last year. But still, I think that, looking at that series, what you saw was a very different Jets team, because they played early on in the season, very early on, and that's when the Jets were, a team that was still really kind of finding itself. They were playing good hockey, but they were having these, moments of inconsistency due to the call-ups and injuries and whatnot. And I think that is going to be a big factor going into this, because Vegas hasn't played Winnipeg in a while, and their identity has changed a lot since December. So that's going to be a big element to take into the series on how these two teams are going to match up. Now, obviously on the Jets side of things, like I said, this team had a lot of different identities throughout the entire 82-game schedule of the regular season. At one point, they were a team riddled with injuries, and call-ups and waiver claims flooded the lineup, and they were finding ways to win. They were a versatile team of depth players, giving it their all, taking advantage of opportunity given by Rick Bowness and the other coaching staff, and they were thriving. And then players started to come back. Things got juggled around. Chemistry was experimented with, and we saw this team go, have really good moments when they were fighting for and consistently dominating that number 2 spot in the Central Division, and even fighting for that number 1 spot at times, and then even becoming first in the West for a moment. And then the All-Star break happens, and as typical fashion for the Winnipeg Jets, a slide in play begins. I don't know what it is, but for the longest time, ever since the 2017-18 season and that run, this team has had problems after the All-Star break, after right around that halfway mark. And we saw it this year, and this team slid. Their play was inconsistent. They were reminiscent of last year's Jets, really searching for an identity. And it was funny because all of this happened around the time the team got healthy. And it seemed like once all of the guys that were supposed to be on this team got back on this team, they couldn't necessarily play their best hockey. And for the longest time, we didn't really know what was going to happen. And as things kept progressing to the end of this season, well, we lost. We lost a lot of games, and we almost got out of the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, as you already know, game 81 is when we clinched. It's as close as it can get. The race was on until the finish line, and the Jets were lucky. The Jets were lucky that those other two teams in Calgary and Nashville lost, and they were lucky to an extent that they were able to, get some games there. After that loss to Calgary, that was a huge loss, and they played well. I'm not saying they lucked their way in, but luck was, they definitely had luck on their side, and they played well enough to get in, and here they are. Now, I still think this team has more to give. I think this team is starting to play better hockey. I still think that there could be a potential for this team to ignite in the playoffs, especially against a former opponent, a team that knocked you out in the first round years back. I know that this Vegas team is nothing like that team that was that year in their first initial year. That was a magical run, and I'm not comparing the series at all. These are two very different teams from where they were in that situation. That was a Western Conference final. This is a first-round matchup. Wild card versus a top team in in the Western Conference, excuse me. I think that this team is going to be very, 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 very interesting to watch in Game 1. I don't know what to expect, really. I'm excited as all hell. I bet all of you are, but I bet you all kind of feel the same way. This really could go either way. The Jets could finally show up and play the hockey we all think that they can play, or they'll, potentially play the way they have for the longest time now and be inconsistent, and when you're inconsistent in the playoffs, you lose. So I really don't know what to expect, but at the same time, this Jets team, as we all know, has some good players on it, and has some incredible players on it this year. Kyle Connor, 31 goals, 49 assists, 80 points. Josh Morrissey, the Norrisy season that he had. Josh Norrisy himself, 76 points, 60 assists, 16 goals in 78 games played. Mark Scheifele being a 42 goal scorer, having a career high in goals. Pierre-Luc Dubois, 63 points, emerging as a number 1 center on this team. Even Nikolai Ehlers, who only played 45 games this year, had 12 goals and 26 assists, for 38 points, and was very, very, very clutch and important in adding him back into the top 6. This team has a lot of firepower on it. You're getting Cole Perfetti back, who had a pretty damn impressive rookie year, who battled injuries and was still pretty good with 30 points in 51 games before being bowed out because of that injury. Dylan DeMello, a career year. I like Adam Lowry having a renaissance, a reemergence, almost a career year offensively for him, if I'm not mistaken. 36 points, his career high, ladies and gentlemen, in points, set this year. Career high for points for Adam Lowry. Like, they have guys on this team that have had an okay season, and they've, like I said, have been good at times. The real question is going to be, can they finally put it all together and go on a little bit of a run? Because Connor Hellebuyck has been immaculate as of late, and if he can continue to play that way and the Jets find themselves, putting some goals on the weaker Vegas Golden Knights goaltending, things could be very exciting in Winnipeg. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to say that I think the Jets are going to come out and cleanly beat them. I think that this series is going to go 6 games, 7 games, but I think the Jets have a bigger chance than a lot of people were giving them credit for. I've made my thoughts on this team very clear throughout the entire year. I've been up and down with this team, thinking that they could potentially win the Cup, to thinking they're probably not even going to make the playoffs in general. And at the end of the day, we're here. 82 games have been played, and I'm just glad that we're going into the playoffs. I really am. I want to see this team have a shot at it when it comes down to it, and this team had its moments. So I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to completely write them off, but, there is a lot to cause of concern. I think Vegas is the favorite for a reason, because the Jets have been slumping as of late. And at the end of the day, the numbers speak for themselves, but I'm coming from this as a fan at this point, because like I've always said, and I believe this my entire young life, is that when the playoffs start, it is a different season. There's a reason why all the stats go back to 0. It's a brand new day, a brand new season of hockey, and all you need to do is just win 4 games and get to the next, and win 4 games. That's it. 4 games, that is it. And I think the Jets have a chance to do it. I think they do. I'm not going to say that they're going to beat Vegas right now, but I think that I'm going to be taking the Winnipeg Jets in 7 games. I think the series goes the distance. I wouldn't even be surprised if maybe there's a crazy game sequence in there, and maybe it's a game 6 for either of these teams, but I think it's going to be very close. I think that this team has a chance to finally get over their demons. This year has been so up and down. Going into the playoffs, they finally made it. Like I said, blank, start to the season. Brand new chance. I think they might be able to, surprise us. I'm very hopeful of that, at least. That's all I can be at this point. I'm just hopeful. So, Vegas, Vegas fans, if you watched this video all the way through, you're a real one. I appreciate you. But let me know your thoughts, because I know you're probably thinking that this could be a walk in the park, but I wouldn't just think so. I think that the Jets have a lot more to offer than we've seen. This season has been up and down for them, and they have had moments where they are some of the best team hockey in the league, and they've had moments where they played some of the worst hockey in the league. So, it just depends on what you're going to get. Connor Hellebuyck has played probably his best stretch of hockey in years down the line getting into the playoffs. He has been immaculate. Like, if that stretch did not earn him back into the Vezina conversation, at least getting him that nomination, because he deserves it. He has been insane this year, and there's, like I said, in the end of the season, in the last game for Recap Reaction, there's a reason why I never ragged on Connor Hellebuyck at all during that stretch, because he's a homie, he's a G, he's the #1 goalie in the league, and, with a team is that crap in front of you, you're not going to be able to do that much. But the team has a chance to finally get over their demons. They're going into a tough matchup, but I think they could surprise. I think they have the entire fan base rooting for them right now. The city of the province. Yeah, look, we haven't been able to celebrate properly a whiteout since COVID, damn, it has been that long. It has been since this 2019 playoffs, when we lost to St. Louis, and then the Calgary series and the play-ins, no one was there. Year after, no one was there. And then we had to make the playoffs last year. So it's great to finally be able to get everyone back out there. I'm so excited to be going out there. So grateful that I have the opportunity to go out there and watch it live. I'm going to be at the Game 3. I hope to see you all there. I'll also be at the whiteout beforehand, and I will be at the whiteout on Game 4. I will be down there. It's going to be crazy. And yeah, all I'm going to say right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you see me at the whiteout, stay tuned, because you might have a chance to win Pierre-Luc Dubois autographs, Kyle Connor rookie autographs, Connor Hellebuyck rookie autographs. We're going to be giving lots of stuff away to all you beautiful people out there, so stay tuned for that. And if you see me out there, you never know. You never know, you might win it. So, nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this preview. Go Jets, go. The whiteout has begun. I can't wait. Let me know your thoughts down on the series down in the comment section below. If you're first time checking out a video here on Peg City Hockey, definitely drop me a like and subscribe. Turn on notifications if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and check out all the other affiliated links down in the description below. Have a great rest of your day. Go Jets, go, as always. Peace, love, and positivity as always. And I will see you guys in the next one.
It'll all be over.